How does it work? First, you need two donors. Ford Focus in perfect condition, judging by the color, made of a taxi, right? No? It was much worse. Much worse? Oh my god. And then you need a Tahoe Yukon with a 5.7 engine. In general, a little one, as I understand, because it should be on a small frame, and this shorty Tahoe can be barely fit into a Ford Focus. It would seem there is some work for one evening, for a couple of hours with a beer, but nothing is ever so simple. Also, this way in itself is the easiest. You take one car frame and put another one on it. It seems so, but in the end, you want to get a normal driving car. And this car was not built for off-road. Therefore, if we say that this is a Jeep, no, it is not a Jeep. It needs to be disassembled and upgraded again, so that it really tackles off-road. And to tell the truth, if we compare it with cars on the 40, 42 and 38 centimeter wheels, it holds true. In this case, it is needed more of a show car, which still can roll pretty good. In fact, the wheel size is 38.8, which is a lot. In the front we have the gearbox and drive, and in the back there is a continuous axle. That is pure beauty. What does this give us in terms of ground clearance? I think there will be no rich numbers, of course. But this is 31, on 40 wheels. Now let's take Wrangler on 35s. Well, so that you just understand, if we start talking about off-road, we will quickly finish talking about it there. If we grind through the snow, we get 30. But here is 40, and here are 35. It's the way it is, guys. But this is because it's off-road. Let's go next. We have empty tires, which allow us... Well, it is designated as extreme, but it is more suited for stones and so on. The most important thing that you get, in any case, if we compare this with any stock up to 33 and even 35 wheels, this is a damn very high and passable car. Other details concern the fine-tuning, and at the same time you get the comfort of Ford Focus. Bumpers, skirts, and hood looks, and many other essentials. Because nothing does fit one another that simply. You run into a billion little things, and as a result, the little operation for one evening with beer and your pops in the garage turns into... How long did it take? 6 months. 6 months! And these are the guys from Ford Market. They were driving on tracks when I was putting tints on windows. Okay. So, gentlemen, hello again. Let's try to ride this. The getting technique is not yet obvious to me. Well, let's try this... Wow. Putting our feet on the skirt, just as I wanted. Here we go. I did this. That's cool. So what we see from a Focus? Everything is from that car. We have only a Tahoe dashboard. Start the engine. No, we don't start, because... I see, let's roll. It's strange, usually the neutral gearbox position should allow you to start. Apparently things were different in the US back then. There is this unknown lever in the middle. The wipers. Well, up. Yeah, that is interesting. Grounding, which is located in the area of the ignition button. That's interesting. Okay. Well, we just engage the drive. We got it. And let's go. And here we ride right through the bushes. That is lit. Some diagonals. Yeah, got it. An overkill? I never understood this American style. Driving with a headlight on the hood. It is 200% American. That is fine, you did it cool, as intended. In New York it would be great, but it really interferes with the driving. And they all drive like this. It's normal for them. Yeah, it's very wide. Very wide. And we never get into a route. And there is a lot of power. Just a huge amount of power. How much power it has? According to the paper, there should be like 300 horses. It doesn't have even 300. But with the gear lowering mechanism, it is most likely not that high here. It is clear that there is nothing like 1 on 4, but nevertheless, we have 40 centimeter wheels, and after all, it should be about 1 on 1. And the exhaust is just gorgeous, and it has a feeling of real power. It's fire. For comparison, let's try the same hill as with Bentley. Let's try on geometry. It's just that if we go to the slurry now, it seems to me that it won't go that good. The wheels are too wide for the slurry, and it will grind. And I don't even know where I'm going, like somewhere to the side. The brakes are working. I like this. The geometry is fine. The rear geometry is just swell. Okay, it's good, but can it go uphill or not? So, Wrangler does it here, and Bentley too. This is awesome. This is awesome. Ready? Of course, we have off-road controls, so there are the winch switches, the button for the winch itself, and winding, unwinding. We have light control here. In this place, there was a standard gear shift lever for a Ford Focus. Here is a transfer case control, lowering, turning on, turning off, and modes. Everything else. These are the wipers. They look like this. Everything else we have is from a Ford. It seems as well as interior. If you want to travel a long distance, then as 4 people, it will be comfortable. The same as in a third-generation Ford. Commander. This is stock. And there is a button, of course, grounding. I want to tell you that there is a minimum of alterations. And for a given degree of the crossing of 2 cars, this is very light. Very light. Everything remains stock. I will really get there. Deadwood is cool. No, further I live in trees. We cannot go there. The windshield goes up, and you drive. The hood goes up, and I just understand the direction via this. Wow, that's cool. It is clear that if you give more gas, it goes harder. But to the point, because of the wheels and off-road system, even with such a configuration, you can use the engine at its fullest and height of the car. And the Ford is not a big deal, because you have an air intake somewhere around your shoulders. It's cool, anyway. we get a recipe for a great day. Because of its super looks, super possibilities, this is an enchanting potential for tuning. This is V8 with its X-house, a red height. Well, with the ground clearance is clear there, you can work in this direction, but nevertheless, you get ice invulnerability as we noticed it. That is, given the depth, and when you put it next to my own Wrangler, the last one, it will be a tiny one.